I am well aware that there is a possibility that this doesn't happen. What's up, guys? Film Cubano back here with another video, and I absolutely loved Black Panther Wakanda Forever. One of the brightest spots of that film was Tenoch Huerta's performance, his portrayal of the character Namor. And after seeing his performance in this film, I need a Namor spinoff. Most importantly, I think it should be a movie. Not a show, not buried on Disney+. I think Namor deserves his own film. So when T'Challa originally showed up in Civil War, it got a lot of people hyped. The character of Black Panther had not been seen in the MCU yet, and his performance in that film was absolutely awesome. He kicked so much ass, and it was really, really cool to see Black Panther finally show up. Then it led into the Black Panther solo movie, which is one of my favorite MCU films to date. I thought it was absolutely amazing. It gave T'Challa so much more character, gave the Black Panther so much more lore. We learned so much more about Wakanda and that world. Thought the film was really, really good. But what was really interesting about what happened with Black Panther is that it became a worldwide phenomenon. The film did so well. It finally represented a different culture, represented a different group of people that really do not get too much recognition in terms of mainstream comic book media. Now, I am somebody that always is going to feel like representation matters. It matters for people to see people who look like them, or at least sort of look a little bit more like them than some of the other characters we see in films. It's important for that representation to exist. Look, personally, I think one of the only reasons that most of these comic book characters are white to begin with is that they were created a long ass time ago, in a time when the people making the decisions basically probably thought that those were the kinds of characters that would sell. Any shade darker, any other ethnicity, probably not going to do well. I like to think that as a society, we've been able to move past that. We're not afraid of making those kinds of choices anymore. I think Namor getting his own solo film could potentially be as big as the original Black Panther movie was. And I think Marvel has a real opportunity on their hands here. One of the things that they did in the original Black Panther film was kill off Killmonger, a character that a lot of people really wanted to like, despite how absolutely insane and incredibly violent his plan was in that film. Killmonger had a real fan base, a group of people pulling from it. I'm not gonna lie, first time I saw the movie, I actually thought, yeah, this kind of makes a lot of sense. And he's just very cool character, a lot of charisma, just a very interesting character in the MCU. But in Wakanda Forever, I honestly felt like they made a lot of effort to sort of fix certain aspects of the first film that maybe did not work so well. And one of those aspects was that they never should have killed Killmonger. And they had an opportunity here with Namor, and they kept him alive. I think the main reason for that happening is that they look back at Black Panther and they realize that it was a mistake. You introduce certain characters and you never really know how the audience is going to respond. People could have absolutely hated Killmonger, and I'm sure there's a pretty sizable population of people that actually did. But there did end up being a very loud group of people who loved that character. And up until Wakanda Forever came out, people clamoring for Michael B. Jordan to just be brought back from the dead and made the new Black Panther in this second movie. Now, after seeing Tenoch Huerta's portrayal of Namor in this film, I think that we've got a very similar situation on our hands. Right now, we've got a character that was very well received for the most part in this film. He was great in this film overall, just as an antagonist. And to be completely honest, I did not hate Namor's plan. I thought for the most part it made sense. He had motivations that made sense, and I think it led me to be hopeful that this character shows up again in the MCU, but most importantly, that he could actually carry his own solo film. Lately, Marvel has done a great job with their casting, and I think Tenoch only highlights that point. There is a massive opportunity here to take all of the pride that a lot of people felt watching a character like him show up in a Marvel movie and giving him his own solo film. I truly believed after Black Panther that there was going to be no possible way that the MCU could ever replicate the magic of a film like that in terms of how inspiring it was to so many people. Not only people who just loved the character, but people who had never seen themselves represented on screen in the way they felt when watching that movie. Seeing the reaction to Namor, I think that they could actually replicate what they did with that first Black Panther film. giving a character like this his own solo movie, expanding upon that representation. And not only that, but they built such a cool underwater world that I want to see more of. And that's the sort of thing that you could really expand upon if you give Namor his own movie. I am well aware that there is a possibility that this doesn't happen. Feige's making all the decisions, and while I think it would be a mistake to not capitalize on the momentum that Tenoch Huerta has built up for this character, I could understand them maybe being a little bit nervous to hand him the reins for his own solo film. So at the very least, I am hoping that if we get a Black Panther 3, we see Namor and whoever the next Black Panther is team up together, because I need to see more of this character. I think there is a ton of potential in the MCU, and I'm gonna be honest, if ever you can take the guy who talks to fish and make him fucking awesome, you have got to capitalize on that momentum.